Commissioner Griffith, nice to have you on the show.
Yes, hi, good evening. Are you hearing me now?
Wonderful,
We are hearing you now. Sorry about all the little technical difficulties.
Gary, you watch the match? Mexico versus Trinidad.
Yes, yeah, well, we are 1-0 down. No, I'm hardly hearing you guys.
Quirky said he's hardly hearing us.
You are currently watching the match. We are
There's El Salvador.
against El Salvador.
Yeah, it's we're just 1-0 down at halftime.
All right.
That's kind of what they're gonna go for point. Commissioner, we wanted to just briefly talk about the game against Mexico. What were your thoughts on that game?
Well, I mean, everything is strategy. I mean, I've been involved in sports for decades. Been on national teams been involved with the West Indies team, national hockey teams, football teams. What is every single game is going to be something totally different. What is more interesting is I would like to speak more about our spectators. Don't be surprised if it is that we lose to El Salvador. It's going to be a totally different ball game. We love to jump on a bandwagon and support something based on game by game. Obviously, what Angus, I've worked with Angus for about 15 years. We were in the defense force together. We joined about the same time. We left just about the same time. He is a strategist. He's a good coach. He's a good leader. And but again, how long is it that the country is going to continue to support Angus until heaven forbid we lose the next two games and we're going to call for his head? We have a way we just love to jump on a bandwagon when things go good, and if things go bad, we are the first to demonize, criticize, and be negative, which is very unfortunate.
I wanted to ask you, as you talk about negative, there's been some negative press concerning the scholarship program that would have come out of the Commissioner's Cup related to Bad Wolf and Football Factory Foundation. I read the article by Miss Denyse Renne. It personally left me confused because I wasn't quite sure what was... It didn't seem to clarify a lot of facts. What I wanted to ask you was, were there the scholarships that were being offered, these scholarships, and it was never explained what exactly these scholarships were and who would have benefited. Can you just like give me an idea of what these scholarships would have been and who would have benefited?
Yeah, sure. Listen, Denyse Renne has never kicked a line in her life. She never played any sport. She has never been involved in reporting any sport. So just by the question, she left every single citizen in this country totally confused by her 4 articles. She was fighting so desperately to try to find something that wasn't there. In a nutshell, what it was, we could recall 2005 when we qualified for the World Cup. There were 14 players and we were selected for the 2006 World Cup final. 14 of the 23 players, they were playing in the United Kingdom. Dwight York, John Lassapi, Shaka Hislop, Carlos Edwards, Kenwin Jones, the list goes on. And it shows that is where it is where we were at our best, because we were getting the best quality of training and professionalism playing football in England and Scotland. Now we have sent most of our players, they're playing in the Bengal League, the Tajikistan League, 3rd Division in the Cyprus League, and the 3rd Division in the Indian League, and then they come back home, and we wonder why we can't keep up with the Mexico and the United States and the Costa Ricans. When it is, I realize that if we had an opportunity to get our young players back in the United Kingdom, that is where it is. They can be developed to be able to be prepared, and we have to start looking at our the younger players. So we were looking at opportunities. So what this was not, Bad Wolf brought up a proposal to me, showing that, listen, they can get several of our younger players to get a football scholarship. It was a proposal that was genuine, it was legitimate, it was above board. This was something that will help Trinidad and Tobago's football. But because people like Denyse Renne, the libels and stuff, they live on negativity, they live on bitterness, trying to demonize, see the worst in everything. And people actually bought into it without understanding. So this was a project to help get scholarships for our best footballers on the national team that would have been selected. The persons who would have been selected would have been the coaches from the under-20 team, the under-20 national coaches, the under-17 national coaches, select the best players and give them the opportunity to be developed whilst getting a scholarship, whilst getting a type of educational background that they will get some a diploma. And also be able to develop themselves similar to what we would have seen in 2005. That turned around into something being totally negative. How in God's name could that be? However, when the T&T Police Service, we looked at the proposal, initially we were interested in it, and then after doing due diligence, we decided to hold on the project for the time being. That was all. Denyse Renne, in a mischievous way, tried to link that to my son, right, and with comments that my son, that project was shelved on June the 1st. My son was actually playing and selected on June the 2nd or 3rd, and the game against Bahamas was on June the 5th. So I have to be the worst negotiator in the world to try to pull a project before the game actually took place, because he was on the squad. He did not play on the 5th and the 8th of June, but he was on the team already. So there was absolutely no way. It was a total lie. It was full of just mischief because of that gender, and that was very unfortunate. And maybe it is that our young footballers have lost because of it.
Let me ask you a quick question here, Commish. Obviously, you know, I mean, I'm a parent. Chris is a parent. We have a lot of parents in the audience. We could all understand the parents' perspective. I've seen your son. I haven't seen your son play, but I know your son. He's a big kid. He's a well-muscled kid. He's a physical specimen. You know, there's no reason why he should not be as advertised. He's an elite football player. However, there are a lot of mixed opinions of anybody. Saka, I mean, he getting pong today. So the question of what is your role in getting your son a sweat on Trinidad and Tobago senior men's national team?
But you know, I'm glad you asked that. At no time, whether it is Terry Fennick, Angus Eve, Stern John, at no time have I ever, and would I ever, I don't get involved in that. That is not my business. Who the coaches select or drop, that is not my business. Gary Griffith was the only person in this country that was there helping our national team prepare for the World Cup. Not one person stepped up. So for all of the ignorant people who wanted to criticize me, I was there putting out. And it reached the point of desperation where Denyse Renne had the audacity to question, trying to so much link my involvement with the national team with my son, spoke about football freako. The best football ground in the Trinidad and Tobago right now is the Trinidad and Tobago Police barracks in the North Ground. That is really the home of football now. So here I am giving the national team the best football ground, and she wants to know why I didn't charge. Tomorrow the national hockey team is going to start training in the only AstroTurf in the Southern Caribbean. That's, guess what, St. James Barracks South Ground at no cost. That is what we do. So I was there, just as I have done, and people are not aware, I have been on the normalization committee, the local organizing committee for the TTFA for the last 10 years. I've been in right-hand working with from Tim Key to David Williams to William Wallace to Robert Haddad. I've been in right-hand working with coaches, helping them from Dennis Lawrence to Terry Fennick to now even Angus Eve. And again, the audacity of it, I was there I got 2 U.S. visas for 2 players who were forwards. That would have been, I think, Joseph and Moore. And guess who they replaced? My son. I was the one alone saying about transportation for the team, getting the diplomatic lounge for them, now getting security to make sure they're secure in Texas. And my son is not even there. So the stupidity of trying to link my son, I have done more to affect my son being selected. Probably if it is that I didn't get the 2 U.S. visas for Moore and Joseph, my son may have been the one selected. They replaced him by Angus Eve contacting me and saying he needed these visas for these players.
Commissioner,
so when people look at it, I don't get involved in it. But my son is now was being criticized because of who I am. The people who criticize my son have never seen him play. This is a person who has been on the national U17 team. He's the only Trinidadian ever to get a full football scholarship in the United Kingdom in Sunderland College. He has been invited for trials with Queen's Park Rangers from South Shields, Gateshead. He's only Trinidad and Tobago player registered in a UK Premier League team, that's Colwyn FC. Did Gary Griffith do all of that? No. But no one has seen him play. But all of the people who do not see him play are those who criticize. So that's why I said, look, maybe I should back off. But the same Angus Eve and others have asked me. They look for help. They look for support. I'll provide the accommodation for them, try to get the police bus for them, try to arrange to get the visas for them, try to arrange different things for them at all times. And not one person in this country steps up to help the national football team. And the thanks that I get for it is people trying to demonize a young person. We have been criticizing and condemning. We speak about discrimination, but it happens right here.
It does.
We see what happened with the Mexican supporters with our national players. We saw what happened with the 3 English players throwing away the penalty. But we have here people criticizing, condemning, and demonizing an 18-year-old, the youngest player in our World Cup team, for the 2022 World Cup.
Commish.
And we have spent more time criticizing and condemning an 18-year-old.
Commish.
And the people who have done it have never even seen him play. And
All right, here's what,
sometimes
Commish.
you need to look in a mirror to try to understand what we want to speak about. What is going on around the world.
Gary.
But right, sometimes you need to look in the mirror to help yourself.
Gary,
Commissioner.
hold on a second, Chris. Gary, I want to put it out here. I have a little YouTube channel. There's only a couple hundred people following it so far. But what I'm saying is, here's what we'll do. If your son up to it, we'll organize a little basic drills. I will come down, we will shoot, and we'll put it out into the world. Let the people decide if Gary Griffith III could ball or not. How that sound to you?
Well, even better, as I always said, he was one of the most skillful players of the national team. But again, he's 18 years old. He's one of the youngest, I think the youngest player on the World Cup, our World Cup squad. Anyone who wants to take him on one-on-one in a small goal game. And I said, I'm giving you a 4-goal head start, 5-goal win.
I'll actually going to put T with the 4-goal because he says he's a goalkeeper.
Hey, that was in the 80s, brother.
Tay say he's a goalkeeper.
We used to wear acid wash jeans in the
Gary,
80s. I used to wear leather pants in the 80s.
Tay say he was a goalkeeper in St. Mary's College under 16 team. So he say. So we gonna give Tay the 4-goal lead.
You know who's scoring, man? Evans Wise.
Oh, good Lord.
Evans Wise scoring, man. Hey, Gary. Hey, thanks for taking the call first with us tonight.
Gary. Thank you so much. I mean,
and tell the big son here's what, man. Haters hate. If nobody ain't hating on you, you're not doing nothing.
yeah. And I personally, I was there. I know we crossed paths about a few months ago at the national team at the stadium. You saw me there. I know you saw me. We were doing some work with the national team, Anthony Marcano and I.
Yes.
And I saw a lot of what you're talking about. So I know some of the backstory. So I just want to say, yes, I know it. And I want to thank you because, I mean, we need people to step up and help the national team and the country as a whole. So I want to thank you for that. And, of course, great job on the crime fighting front. I know that's a constant battle. And sometimes you're never sure if we're winning or we're losing with that. But I just keep hoping that you keep doing the job. And the police have definitely upped their game since you've been commissioner. So I want to thank you for that.
Thanks a lot, my brother.
All right, so you have a good
very
night,
much. Take care.
Commissioner of Police. All right, so that was the Commissioner of Police. On the line, he made a lot of strong comments. You can call in 218-7762, 218-7762, or 378-4975. That's a WhatsApp number.
WhatsApp? Where you from? Boy?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Anyhow, we're going to make another call.